Have you ever worked on a project and had a lot of variables all exported and then it just looks like a mess over here on the side and you wish it could be organized? Oh, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. Alright everyone, starting here, we're going to be looking at 4.0 because the beta is out, so we are getting closer to the release. It could still be another couple months off, or maybe just a couple weeks, who knows. But I know some of you might be wanting to work in it now, get your hands dirty on it with the experience, or maybe you want to start transferring your project over, and you're aware of whatever cons at the current stage that you may have. Well, in order to organize all our variables over there, all we have to do in 4.0 is we have to use this new decorator, as you see, and we use export. Since we no longer just have the word export, we have to use these decorators, which is this little @ symbol here that you see in emails. And to do what I showed you in the beginning, we're just going to do export, and we're going to do a group. And inside of here, we're going to put in the name of our group, which you saw was movement. And then inside of this group, which is everything underneath it, we're going to go ahead and can export our variable. And this was move speed, and we can cast this as an int. Likewise, we can do this with coming in here and do our run speed that you saw in the beginning and make sure that is also an int. Of course, you can make this whatever you want. Just for fun, we can make this float. And then you'll see over on the right hand side now, inside of the inspector, if you take note, we do have both of our variables here, and this one we can set to a floating point number since we declared it as a float. And our move speed is an integer, and we can set to whatever we want. And it's all inside of this collapsible movement section group, as they're called. So you can completely organize that. And if you want to take it a step further, you can actually come in here, and what you can easily do here is you can also export a category, right? And we'll call this like physics, for example. And as you see, we have a section here called physics. If I just flip it away, you can see just export category with a name. And that just gives us our section here called physics that our foldable movement group is inside of. Now, if you want to make another group, of course, you just create another group inside of there. Instead of movement, we can call it, let's call it banana. Let's call this speed and our speed. And you can see we got another group inside of that. So it's very easy for us to add groups and keep everything organized, especially in 4.0. Now, you can do this very simply as well. Well, not as simply in the 3.x branch. You can do it, it's just a little more complicated in a sense, especially when you compare it to how easy it is here in 4.0. Alright, if you want to do this in version 3.0 here, and we'll change this to being a copy of this one here. Oh, there we go. So now we can see that. We can see it up close. And you can see we have the same setup here. Movement as a group with our move speed and our run speed. The moment they're both cast as an int, just like you saw at the beginning of the video. But of course, you could very well turn this into a float or a dictionary array, whatever you need for that. So you can see it's the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's take a look at what we need to do code-wise for that now. Now, as you see, we have our variable up here called move speed. And here's our set and get, right? So we can get our property, whatever property we put in there. If our property is move speed, we return move speed. And of course, we can just come in here and right? We can go like elif property equals, and we'll say like movement slash run speed, right? And return run speed. So it'd be as simple as that to add in these extra properties. And of course, you can see run speed isn't declared, so I'll just create that right at the top here real quick. So variable run speed, it's an integer. The property is movement slash run speed. We can return a run speed. And the same thing here. So in our set, we just change this. You can leave that as an if you want. I prefer just doing elif anyway. And we have movement slash run speed. And then we'll set run speed to the value. All right, now here's where our list comes into play. So we're going to do a func called underscore get property list. And you can see if we start typing it out, this is a built-in function here, get property list. Oh, there we go. And we're going to create an array. We can just call it props. You can call it properties if you want. And we're just going to append something like, we're going to append a dictionary into it. We're going to give it a key value pair of name, followed by a string of a group, followed by the variable name, and then the type. Of course, the type for the key and what it is for the second, or what type of variable it is. So we have type int here, but we could easily do, like we did down here with run speed, we do type, sorry, it's not float, they're called real, type real. We wanted to do a float. And there we go, we have it the same way. And that's all we have to do. If we want to add another one in here, we just come in, add another one, do a props.append, and again, change your name here, movement slash whatever you want it to be. And of course, we come in here, we could change movement to maybe attack data. And you see now we have a new section on the right hand side. Let me just enhance that there. You see now we have a new section called attack data that holds our run speed. And of course you'd want to change this to something like attack speed. Create your variable attack speed here. And then of course add that to your set and get here. But it says, again, it's fairly simple. Once you have the base laid out here, it's simple to just keep adding more sections and variables into this, even on the 3.x branch. It's just a lot easier on the 4.x branch. You can see when we come up here. It's much easier, but you can still do it in either branch that you want to get on. So there you go. There's how you can organize your variables so you can have a cleaner and more organized coding experience.